Wednesday a week. Oh my god, I think I've actually seen that one actually. Catherine, it's late. I have to go home. Come on then, baby girl. Let's get you home.
She's late. She'll be home at midnight. She's late.
Jimmy, you gotta stop seeing the world through the eyes of the Joe.
She's with her mates. Nothing's gonna happen to her. No. Midsummer.
That's disgusting. She's gonna get so angry with you, God. She's gonna be like, were you hanging out with that Catherine Ross? She does not like me when I'm with you. She does not like you. I know, she... Oh, whatever. Hurry up! Watch the rocks, watch the rocks. The old guy in that cross. Why does everyone think he's weird? Why does nobody speak to him? Because he is weird. He's a creepy old man. Catherine, please, I have to get home. I thought you liked creepy older men. It's Sunday tomorrow, church. Come on. Please, let's not. Come on. It's gonna be so awkward.
Hi, Cass. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Alright.
I've seen you. You live in the Brussels.
Yeah, I do.
I have cake. Will we have cake?
Jesus. We can't stay for cake. My friend has to get home. Sunday tomorrow. Church. Yeah, that's right. It's feathers. Just like the bird. See?
Go on, get out. You're late already.
So are you.
I know, but it's Monday, so people make allowances for me.
Que tengas un buen día.
Well, that's not just a tan I was paying for.
Bye.
Bye.
Line 1. Tabby.
Come on, darling, let's get moving.
Jemima.
Sorry we're so late. She's really not feeling very well. Bye, darling. Come on up the stairs.
Kitty Collins. You're well enough to come to school. You're well enough to stay. Come on.
And here to address us on a matter that concerns us all is our Procurator Fiscal, Rona Kelly.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to say it's a real pleasure to be invited here today to update you on certain changes in procedure in the Fiscal Office. We should, and we do, prioritise some categories of cases due to the seriousness of the crimes involved and the impact that that has on both victims and their families.
Duncan. She flagged me down as I was passing. She didn't want to leave the lassie in case the birds came back. I've been pecking. Hi, I'm Detective Inspector Perez.
Jess Collins. Her name's Catherine Ross. She babysits for me. She's 17.
You know how I can get in contact with her parents?
It's just her dad, Ewan. He works on the rigs.
On which platform?
North Cormorant. I saw her yesterday. She stopped round at tea time. She was fine.
Okay, Jess, I'm going to need to have a word with you at some point, but not now.
Aye, I can see you back if you like.
Right.
Where's Tosh?
On her way. She was at the dentist's. I got the scene tent in the car.
No, there's no point. The tide's already on its way in. Can you call Cora McLean for me and tell her I need her here now?
Yep.
Oh, Christ, Jimmy. Why'd you have to bring me out for the young ones?
Cora, she's in water. She's cooling by the second. Do you need a hand to turn her?
Thanks. See, Ricker's not set in. There's still warmth in her and she's below the high tide mark. I'd say in the last 12 hours.
You narrow that.
Crime seen her on the way. My swimming bag's in the boot. Help yourself to the towel.
Okay.
Come on, back to work.
Mr. Payne, I'm Detective Inspector Perez. You mind if I come in?
Where's Dufay?
Half of Fair Isle, originally. And then Glasgow, and now I live in Lerwick. Yeah, we found a body down by the beach. I was wondering if maybe you seen or heard anything.
I saw the birds. Ah, they'll pick the eyes out of a sickly lamb. Then you have to break its neck.
All right. From up here, I thought maybe you might have seen.
Something was bringing the birds.
So you thought you'd go have a look?
She was dead.
So why didn't you phone the police?
I don't have a phone.
You could have called in a neighbour.
My neighbours don't speak to me.
And what time was this?
5. I didn't sleep so well in the summer dim. It's Catherine Ross. She was here midsummer night, her and the teacher lass. I didn't ask them. I didn't get them. It just came. And then she came back yesterday. She was on the bus.
You saw Catherine Ross on the bus?
No, it wasn't my day for lyric. I was passing the stop and she was getting off.
This was yesterday, Sunday.
Aye. She knew I had cake. She was hungry. She'd been walking all night.
She said why? Or where she'd been? Well, how long did she stay?
An hour. She said she was gone home to sleep.
Sorry to disturb, but you're needed.
Where were you last night?
Here. In my bed.
Okay. I'm going to want to speak to you again, Mr. Bain. So don't go anywhere without letting us know, all right?
Where would I go? It's not my day for lyric.
He knew her. She visited him yesterday. And he saw the body this morning.
He said that.
Wasn't he trying to hide it? Said he saw it at 5 a.m. Doesn't he sleep so well this time of year?
Who does? It's never dark enough or long enough. You just wish someone would turn the bloody light off. From our pockets.
And no phone?
They've done what they can, but there's water everywhere. Plus, there's a primary school up there. We should move it as soon as we can.
Yeah, okay, I'll go on to Aberdeen.
Hey!
Press.
Yeah, you're right. We should probably move it as quick as we can.
We haven't managed to reach Catherine's father yet. Can you tell me who she stays with when he's offshore?
No one. Catherine only came to live with Ewan a year ago when her mother died. He'd lived on his own for years. She was always at boarding school. I don't think heavy-duty parenting would have suited either of them. Doesn't mean they weren't fond of each other.
And somebody mentioned the teacher's lassie. Do you know who that would be?
Yeah, that would be Sally Henry. Her mother, Margaret, is the teacher at the primary. She and Catherine were friends.
It's been a terrible shock for Sally. A terrible shock for everyone, though maybe not a surprise. She'd like to provoke a response, that one.
I'm sorry, I'll have to ask you this. Where were you last night, Sally? And you, Mrs. Henry?
Where do you think? Asleep in our beds.
Do you know what Catherine was up to at the weekend?
Of course, you can't blame the children. Left to their own devices, drinking themselves stupid and lyric every weekend.
I tell you what, Sally, why don't you and me go for a walk and we'll get out your mother's way?
But I've made coffee.
That's okay. Take it with us.
What's going on? Who's that with Sally?
There's been a death. Our friend, Catherine Ross.
Is she all right?
Did you not hear the woman? She's dead.
I meant Sally.
You know, whatever you say to me stays with me. Your parents don't get to hear it.
She didn't always tell me what she was doing. I'm not allowed out so much. She didn't like to rub it in.
So what about Saturday night when you went calling on Magnus Bain?
Catherine thought it would be a dare to knock on his door.
And after that,
Went home.
what about Catherine?
Like I said, she didn't always tell me what she was doing.
What about Sunday? Yesterday? You see her then?
She called. Late afternoon. I couldn't come out because I had homework.
A good friend, eh?
Never had a friend like her before.
Catherine have a boyfriend?
No,
Do you have a girlfriend?
no.
Is anybody after her?
I used to joke about Mr. Scott. He was always looking at her in class.
Teacher?
She thought he was ridiculous. Perez isn't a Shetland name.
No. They say they came over with a shipwreck from the Armada. And a Spanish sailor fell in love with a girl from Fair Isle.
You don't look very Spanish.
No, I think I probably take after her. What did your mum mean when she said that Catherine liked to provoke people?
Catherine thought respect was something adults had to earn. She wasn't always polite
What, to your mum?
to anyone.
Billy, you had any luck reaching Ewan Ross in North Cormorant?
Not yet.
We're going to keep trying because we need to search his house and I want him to get this from us. I don't want him to get it from Facebook.
Yeah. But
I've been getting phone calls from my friend Reg Gilbert, Mr. Media, about a possible serial killer on Shtlnd.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Jimmy, you're my most senior detective. You should be briefing me about this, not the other way round. I'm sorry, can we go outside? You know why giving up extends your life? Because every bloody hour takes about 3 days to pass. 19 years ago, a child called Katrina Bruce went missing from Ravenswick.
same village.
They never found her body. The team sent from Inverness concluded there was no foul play and that she probably fell from the cliff where she was seen playing. But after today, well, Reg is just digging at the moment. He's fishing for a story. He's looking for a link. If there's any chance he's going to find one, I want to know about it, okay?
It's the same address.
What?
Catherine and Katrina, it's the same address.
No. Boss? I've got you and Ross on North Cormorant. I'm connecting you now, okay?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Ross.
This is Detective Inspector Perez. You got somebody there with you?
Yeah, they said my manager. What's going on?
Very bad news for you. Your daughter Catherine was found on the beach at Ravenswick this morning.
What? My...
Your daughter's dead. Ewan.
Hello.
Cora. Cassie.
Yeah.
I've got to go out for a wee while. I'll be about an hour, okay?
Okay.
Hey. What's up?
Is it true Catherine Ross was assaulted? You know, sexually?
Who's seen that?
People? Facebook?
I've never known a girl be killed and that not be one of the rumors, which is depressing enough. But in this case, I can absolutely promise you it's pure speculation.
Time of death was between midnight last night and 4 o'clock this morning. She was killed where she was found, strangled with her own scarf.
Any sign of sexual assault?
No.
Anything else?
I'm just a GP. Anything else can wait for the pathologist in Aberdeen.
Who's going to tell me the exact same thing you will, only in 3 days' time? Cora.
There were scratch marks on her neck and skin tissue under her fingernails. My guess is they'll find it's her own.
Because she was trying to get her fingers under the scarf to pull it away.
But no defensive injuries. So either they took her completely by surprise,
Look, at this time of year, it's light all night.
or she knew them well enough to let them get very close.
What's your problem? Hey? Come on now. Wisdom.
You know, even if the team from the mainland got it wrong and Katrina was abducted, she was a child and her body was never found. Catherine was 10 years older and her body was left in an open space, in full view. Different victim profiles, different modus operandi, let alone the 19 years between them. I can't see the same hand in both.
What about the fact that they were from the same village, lived in the same house? Even their names are similar.
Look, that's a coincidence that the tabloids love, but it's not a link. You know, what worries me is that people are going to start talking about this, and before you know it, people are looking for freaks and monsters, and they're forgetting about what they actually saw.
Okay, we issue a statement. Despite certain similarities, the police believe there is no connection between the death of etc., etc., etc.
Okay. According to Cora, who, as we all know, is never wrong, time of death is between midnight on Sunday and 4 a.m. on Monday. Saturday night, midsummer, Catherine and her friend Sally go to a beach party and then call in on Magnus Bain. Sally goes home. Catherine goes on to spend the night away from home, presumably in Lerwick, because the next morning, Sunday, she gets off the Lerwick bus and she bumps into Magnus again and goes back to his house for cake. Tea time on Sunday, she drops in on Jess Collins.
And we know from the door-to-door that she's seen several times after that. The last sighting is 8:30 when she pops into a neighbour's house for milk. The whole family saw her.
She's killed here.
between 12 midnight and 4 a.m.
I'm seeing the name Magnus Bain a lot. He saw the body and said nothing. Plus, he's pretty odd.
Yeah, pretty odd isn't enough to make us have a look at someone. Plus, he says that his neighbours don't talk to him. Did we check up on that?
Well, it's not just them avoiding him. He's pretty much a recluse. I can see him not reporting it.
Do you know him?
Only by reputation. Like Tosh says. Odd.
If she knew her killer, do you think she'd arranged to meet them?
You see, maybe she was already with them.
Boss, that was Aberdeen about the footprints she photographed. They're from her own boots.
Oh, what about the piece of fibre under her nail?
Nothing yet, but the school are expecting you any time now.
Tosh, you're with me. Sandy, you take the Ross house, check out Catherine's bedroom. You all knew Catherine. And maybe some of you know or knew things about her that she would rather have kept private. But we need to know who she was with and what she was doing in the 24 hours leading up to her death. Whenever someone dies, and especially in circumstances like this, there's always rumours about what may or may not have happened. And they don't help. Because all they do is make people scared. And I don't want you to be scared. Sergeant McIntosh is going to be here all morning. So if any of you know something, doesn't matter what it is, then please come and talk to us.
Could you return to your form rooms unless you have specific information for the police?
Hugo Scott. I'm Detective Inspector Perez. I was wondering if I could have a word with you about Catherine Ross.
Where was she found? She was found at the beaches.
All the way down and goes straight to the eye and then all of a sudden...
Sorry. Can I talk to you?
What's up? I taught her film and photography as part of her media studies. I was also her registration teacher.
And what was she like?
Bright. And challenging. She could be hard work, but she was also receptive and interested and engaged. They're not all like that, believe me.
She popular?
Admired, certainly. But perhaps a bit too spiky for real popularity. A satirical eye and an impressive line in contempt, even by 17-year-old standards. It doesn't necessarily endear you to your contemporaries.
No, or your teachers, I would imagine.
No. No, Catherine and I understood each other very well.
Did you ever see her outside of school?
Not by arrangement, if that's what you're suggesting.
By accident, then?
It's almost impossible to avoid if you live in Lerwick. I'm thinking moving to Bressie and learning to row.
What brought you to Shtlnd in the first place?
I wanted to be somewhere where the scope to make a real difference. You know, hearts and minds.
Honest to God, it was like a confessional in there.
the broken hearts and sexual health of an entire generation in detail. I tell you, if Cassie ever brings home a boy called Peanuts, be very afraid.
But Catherine?
Well, she was definitely an outsider, but I got the impression it was choice. They were all going on about how she made a point of not using social media. Pretty self-conscious about wanting to stand out from the crowd.
Did anybody mention anything about a teacher called Hugo Scott?
Not to me.
Okay. Well, do a wee bit of digging, would you? See if there's anything we should be interested in.
Okay.
Oh, boss, you had a visitor while you were out. Alan Isbister.
The Wolsey playboy.
He had to go over to the pier in his very expensive car for a very important meeting, but he said he'd call in again on his way back. Apparently, it's about the case.
Excuse me, I'm looking for Alan Isbister. Didn't you know you were working here?
Well, you know me, jack of all trades, as long as it pays.
Saving up for another wedding to cancel?
Isbister's in the dry dock.
Thanks, Drew.
Give my best to Tosh.
Okay, well, just remember that we're selling it. Inspector Perez. I told your man to call back.
He's my sergeant. He's not my butler. And the next time you've got information relating to a crime, you give it to whoever's on the desk. Do you understand?
Hey, I'm just trying to do my good citizen thing here, okay?
Well, go on with it.
So, I always throw a midsummer party. Usually starts when all the others are finishing. Stop the hangover, start and keep drinking. Catherine Ross was there. I didn't know her. I just recognised her face from the news.
Who brought her along?
I mean, I just get the booze in, throw open the doors and let the party take care of itself. I could give you a list of people I did invite, if that helps you out. She was just part of the crowd. I hardly noticed her, you know?
And you're, what, 30? And she's 17. And how did they make her stand out?
It was an open house. Probably a couple of 70-year-olds there too.
Where is this open house?
My place on the main island. The Ha.
You stay in the main island till I tell you different.
This is a list of everyone that he remembers.
What about the ones he doesn't remember?
Well, treat it as a starting point. Where was Catherine? Who was she with? What was she doing?
You know Isbister's got a reputation. I mean, I fancied 17-year-olds when I was 17, but you're supposed to grow out of it.
Oh, come on, that's just cheap gossip.
Pretty widely circulated.
Alan just never grew up. His dad's the big man who made the family fortune with the pelagic trawler. Plus, his mother never wanted him out of her sight.
I thought the Isbisters were in haulage. You see trucks everywhere.
The trawling's the real business.
This is half the bloody island. Why wasn't I invited?
Ellie, can you get me the CCTV for Union Street, Harbour Street, and Lower Hillhead on Midsummer's Night? Billy.
Yes?
2:40 a.m. Commercial Street.
Yes, boss. Where's she heading? Esplanade? Pier?
Bus station. How you getting on with your never-ending list?
All right. It's going to take a while.
To the party you were never invited to.
Do you know something?
You know what?
Lerwick bus station, Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Excellent. Cheers, buddy.
Maybe we've missed her. Maybe she was heading somewhere else.
There she is.
Boss, that's you and Ross. He's landed.
Okay. You know, when we found Catherine's body, she didn't have her house keys or her phone.
We don't usually lock the doors. But her phone, she never went anywhere without it. Maybe she left in a rush.
The officer that searched the house couldn't find it there either.
What, you think someone took it? It's like a mugging that went wrong.
No, it doesn't look like that. "17, it's young to be living alone."
Is that a question?
No, I mean, it's a lot of freedom. You know, nobody asking where you're going, what you're doing, when you're going to be home. Do you know what she did with it?
She went out? Not so much. She liked her own company.
You know, I went to that school. For Fair Isle. It's very cliquey. It's hard being on the outside.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah?
Was it quick?
Quick. Not instant. Hello, Jess. I'm a wee bit worried about you and...
What will the neighbours say? 2 male visitors in one night? Practically a knocking shop.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your evening.
Oh, no. Duncan just dropped by to see how I was getting on. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
How do you two know each other, then?
Well, my ex and Jimmy were together for a long time before she passed on. The result of which is that we now share a very lovely and very strong-willed daughter. I'm her father, Jimmy's her dad.
Yeah. I should be getting back to her. Good night.
Here, could you just hold that? Just one other word. Jimmy?
What are you doing?
What?
Have you told her you're married?
Come on, it's just a glass of wine.
Because you know Cassie's just gotten over the last time.
Jimmy?
stop taking that dog for a swim of a morning?
It's his wee bath. How would you like it if I told you to stop washing?
I smell better after I've washed. Wet dog stinks.
Tosh, this is a briefing. Brief us.
I looked into Hugo Scott. Nice shiny teaching record, no previous anything. As for tracing and eliminating everyone in Ravenswick the night Catherine was killed, most of them were in bed, so verifiable alibis have proven a bit of a problem.
Okay, how about Alan Bister's party guests?
Still working my way through. Nothing for any of them so far.
There's a lot of talk around about Magnus Bain.
I'm not having this investigation being driven by public opinion.
Maybe we should be looking at him.
We are. But we're asking questions. We're not jumping to conclusions.
Where do?
Retard!
You pedophile!
Help it!
You bastard!
Maggie old slag!
Stupid old tosser!
Okay, Magnus Baines told me that the reason Catherine agreed to go back to his house was because she knew he had cake. Now, I think she could have got cake from anyone. So I was just wondering if you could think of any other reason why she might have been drawn back there.
Probably him being so weird. Catherine liked freaks and misfits.
Why'd she like you then? Because you don't strike me as either of those two things.
Maybe being a teacher's kid is okay if your parent is popular. If they're not, it's pretty much the definition of both.
So, you're going to talk to Magnus Bain. Better late than never, I suppose.
Mrs. Henry, is there something you think I should know? I mean, something concrete.
People used to think they were doing a kindness, letting their children talk to him. More innocent back then. We know better these days, don't we?
Okay. Thanks for your time.
Where's my dad?
On the hill.
What's wrong with that? Environmental officer, it's his job. You know what? Whatever he's doing, and whoever he's doing it with, I don't blame him.
Who's the wee girl?
Agnes. She's my sister. She's dead.
Is that your mother?
There's no milk. It's my day for Larrick. I couldn't get out.
You know why they came, don't you, Magnus? Because they think you'd something to do with Catherine's death.
No.
Well, what did you do after she'd gone?
TV.
What'd you watch?
There's some lad fishing off a boat. Oh. Maybe that was yesterday.
Hey, Magnus. Did anyone see you between Catherine leaving here on Sunday morning and me calling in on you the next day? Anyone who could say where you were? Okay. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to take your fingerprints and a sample of your DNA. You don't have to do either of those things, but it would help me to prove where you have and haven't been.
Gets in the cracks. Takes a long time to come off.
Have you been fingerprinted before? When Katrina went missing?
No. I told him I never seen her. went away. Nobody sends me letters. It's from Catherine Ross.
What is it?
She sent me a letter.
So, why did she take that, Magnus?
I'd asked them to come back this term with a pitch for their end-of-year project. Could have been something to do with that.
Well, do you have any idea how it was taken?
Surely the subject would know.
Subject isn't technologically minded.
Catherine liked retro. She wanted a Hasselblad, but she couldn't afford one.
It's a Hasselblad?
It's a camera that gives you the square format. They're expensive. Catherine got an app on her phone instead.
What? That was taken on a phone? So she'd have had to have taken it, gone home, downloaded it, and then printed it off.
Well, she could have printed it straight from her phone. But looking at it, I'd say she did some work in it first. Yeah, crunching the blacks. It's very Don McCullen. Yeah, it's very Catherine.
Catherine Ross took a photograph of Magnus Bain with her phone on the day she died. So can we get on to Aberdeen and see if they can get a timing for when she downloaded it onto her laptop?
Sure.
What happened in Ravenswick?
Fingerprinting and a DNA sample. And apparently this isn't the first time that Magnus has been fingerprinted. So can we see if we've got anything on record for that?
Got it.
Alibi?
He doesn't have an alibi. The man's a recluse. He doesn't see anybody from one week's end to the next unless it's his day for bloody lyric. But he has no motive. There is nothing tying him to this except talk, and talk can be generated. And what if somebody wants us to be looking at him? What if it's misdirection?
Like who?
I don't know. Somebody with enough money to buy all the rumour mongering they want.
Sorry, Tosh. Right. What have I missed?
The pathology report came through, nothing new. Basically, it's exactly what Cora said. And forensics got back about the fibre under Catherine's nail. It's hemp from a rug.
What kind of rug?
Antique and most probably of Turkish origin. Apparently they can tell from the dye.
Uh-huh. Let me see that Icebreaker party list. You said to me that you'd never arranged to meet Catherine outside of school, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So she never came to this flat?
Why would she?
Nice rug. That Turkish?
Yes.
Yeah, very distinctive. Very distinctive patterns, very distinctive dyes, apparently. Catherine bit her nails. Did you notice that about her? Maybe nerves, I don't know. Anyway, makes them ragged. So things get caught under them like fibres.
Oh, okay, I want a solicitor.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Very Don McCullen. What does that mean? You can look at a beautiful photograph taken with insight and care, and you look at it like you've seen it all before, like there's nothing new in the world for you at all. All the things you said about Catherine, that she was interested, receptive, and engaged, that wasn't about her, was it? It was about you. It was about how she responded to you.
She came in to borrow a DVD. That's all.
And she got a fibre from your rug caught underneath her nail. How exactly?
We talked. She may have sat on the floor. Am I under arrest?
You are now.
My mum thinks I'm in my room. What if she checks?
Just tell her you fancy the what? You should come to the boat sometime. It's a bit more private. Would you like that? Can't hear you at the back.
Yes.
Before term broke up, I'd mentioned a couple of films I thought she'd like. I said if she couldn't get a hold of them, I'd lend them to her.
What sort of films?
French New Wave.
And so Catherine called in to pick them up when?
Saturday night.
What time?
Midnight. She said she was passing.
At midnight?
I assumed she'd come from a party. I was just heading out to Icebusters Do, and she asked if I could take her along.
Did Catherine know about Icebusters before you mentioned it?
I can't remember. I've been drinking. That's why I was less circumspect than usual.
And so, being less circumspect than usual, you agreed to take her along.
We need you to say it.
For the tape?
Yes, I agreed to take her.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
Because once I got her in, she disappeared. I didn't see her again. I had nothing useful to tell you. And I knew how it would look.
As a?
As if I was having an inappropriate relationship with her.
Were you?
No. No.
Excuse me. Tosh. Tosh, we are asking questions. We are not scoring points. Stop baiting them.
Sorry. He's a spineless tosser, though.
I know that. But I mean it.
She was 17. I met Drew when I was 17. He was very young.
I'll be fine here.
You sure?
It's just across the hill.
You won't get spooked after what happened to your friend? It's misty.
No, I've done it before. I'll just run.
Okay. See ya.
If you have finished sulking, your tea's in the oven. Oh, I thought you were Sally.
Where is she?
Upstairs in her room.
No, she's not. I just looked.
But she was asking about you. I said you were on the hill.
After everything that's happened, she's out there alone.
Alex, wait. Alex!
Catherine?
Catherine! Sally!
Give me your hand. Come on, sweetheart.
Sir.
Excuse me.
They found a body on the hill in Ravenswick. They think it's Katrina Bruce.
Do you know why you're here, Magus?
The old man. Did he kill Catherine too?
Max, no!
I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but she was a silly bitch. Our teacher hated her.
I told you I don't know.
Ah, come on!
She said she was going to make people angry.
Catherine Ross didn't know a thing. The only one who knew was Magnus Bain.
You can see that next Tuesday at 9 on BBC One. Fighting to survive, Glasgow's wrestlers are putting on a show like you've never seen before. Insane Fight Club, not to be missed. That's at 10:35 after the BBC News. Next.